All right, welcome everyone to Warriors Rise. God bless you. We have an amazing guest tonight with Clay Clark in the house. How you doing, brother?
Well, yeah, I'll tell you what, I am fired up, and I really appreciate you allowing me to be here on an abbreviated conversation. And I appreciate you squeezing me in because I know you have so many great people that you interview on this program. So thank you for sneaking me in.
Wonderful. I'm so happy to have you. Seriously. So now you're going to be moving soon, and that's exciting for you.
Yeah. Well, to my right, this is James.
Hi,
He's
James.
a friend of mine.
Hi.
He's an attorney.
Hi there.
He's on the Thrive Time show often. He comes to all the Reawaken America events with General Flynn and Mike Lindell and Lynn Wood. And the reason why we bring guys like James every time is when you have, Sidney Powell, Lynn Wood, General Flynn, Mark Burns, Dr. Tenpenny, Bobby Kennedy Jr., all these very well-known household names all in one place at one time.
Right.
They usually have their own pretty large security team with them.
Yep.
And they show up. And in this case, everybody has a security team. I mean, I pity the fool that would try to create a problem because there's so much security there. So we have guys like James and Aaron Antis that are behind the stage. And you guys are really serving as a calming voice, a connector, going out there and finding the speakers, making sure, kind of serving as a guide going, hey, boss, you're speaking next. Hey, the media wants to interview you over here, kind of vetting people. So James is a big part of the program, and I wanted him to meet your listeners as well. He's also an attorney from New York who moved to Oklahoma to help us sue the mayor of Tulsa, Oklahoma.
Wow.
And we are here in our new building. We started building this about two and a half years ago. And today's day number one in the new office.
Wow. So you guys are busy.
Yeah, a lot of work being done.
Nice to meet you, James. Yeah, well, I'll be in Colorado Springs. I'm going to wear my Marine Corps jacket. So
awesome.
I will stand out with this bright colored jacket, but I'm proud of my service. But yeah, I'm looking forward to meeting you and all the others and General Flynn. And it's going to be an honor to salute that man. I'll tell you that. But I did have a quick question for you because we're short on time. But what did you think about this Robert David Steele or, this event that just happened with him?
Well, first off, tell me the facts that you know surrounding his death, just so that I can make sure that I'm commenting on that which you've already vetted.
Okay. What I was told, and I'm a hard one to sell on things, okay? But I was told that he caught COVID out on the road, and then he went to a hospital and they wouldn't give him HCQ or ivermectin, but they put him on a ventilator and it took him out. That's what I was told.
Okay, so I'm going to explain this to the listeners, and it's going to sound like I'm a crazy person. And so it's best to not believe what I'm saying, because again, if anybody gets into the cult of personality, that's a problem. And in the Hebrew, which the Bible was originally written in, there was not a word for the word hero. And I believe everything in the Bible is intentional. So I just want to be very clear. Everybody out there, don't believe what I'm saying just because I'm the guy organizing these events. Believe it because you can verify it yourself. Okay. So if we go to, if you go to the hospital today because you have COVID-19 or you're worried you do, let's walk you through the 3 steps. Okay. Now I'm going to get my book out, Fear Unmasked, to draw the listeners a diagram. Okay. So step 1, you're feeling sick. You're going, you have a hard time breathing. A hard time. Okay. So what you do is step 1, you would think, traditionally speaking, outside of the COVID-19, outside of there being a book called COVID-19, The Great Reset, written by Klaus Schwab, that calls for the destruction of America and the ending of all individual property ownership.
Right.
If we weren't living in a time when Klaus Schwab, the head of the World Economic Forum, was advocating that everybody listening should lose all of their property and all countries should lose their sovereignty. But again, if you weren't aware of that, if you weren't aware that the coronavirus was patented, transmissible to humans in 2003, the coronavirus, okay, folks, it's a naturally occurring virus. And what they do is they do gain of function research. Everyone look up gain of function research. Let's look it up. Gain of function research is where you take a naturally occurring virus from a bat or an animal and you mix it with fresh but never frozen fetal tissue to try to increase the transmissibility of a pathogen.
Right.
So folks, if you look it up, just type it in right now. Dr. Fauci funded controversial Wuhan lab. So folks, look it up, please. Okay, there he is. Folks, type in Newsweek. Newsweek. Yeah, this is reported in Newsweek. Uh-oh. Newsweek. Well, if it's a Newsweek, it must not be a conspiracy. It must be honest. Okay. So Newsweek, the article says Dr. Fauci backed controversial Wuhan lab with US dollars. Okay. So back to our question. What happened? Why did this man die? Or why are people dying? Okay. So step one, very sophisticated technology. You say, I'm going to go to hospital. If you're in the UK, I'm going to go to hospital because I'm going to get tested. So I'm feeling sick. Step one. Step two, I go and get tested at hospital. And in the UK, they don't say the hospital.
They say hospital.
They get treated at hospital. Go to get to hospital. So step one, you're feeling sick. Step two, you go to hospital to get tested. Step three, they're going to use a PCR test on you, which was created. Now, folks, you need to look this up. I don't want to look it up. I like it when people think for me. Not your listeners, but some people do. I like it when I like to watch programming because I love to be programmed. I like it when people think for me. That's what I like. That's why I like to go to Mickey. That's why I want to take my kids to Disney World. Even hot and humid and terrible and expensive, and they teach kids how to become pedophiles. I want to take my kids to Disney World because I like programming. Even though everyone I know doesn't like Disney World, and I didn't either, I still want to take my kids to Disney World. That's programming.
That is programming. You sound like Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is that this programming, it's giving people goals they didn't even know they wanted. I want to go to college. Why do you want to go to college? Because it's the best experience of my life. Yeah, but everyone I know who's gone to college is graduating deeply in debt and they didn't learn anything. Yeah, but you learned a lot about life. Could you learn a lot about life if you didn't go to college? No. Well, why not? Because I want to get a sweatshirt that says I went to Baylor. Okay, so step one, you're sick. Step two, you take a test. Now the test was invented by Carrie Mullis, Dr. Carrie Mullis, Mullis, and look him up on BitChute, BITCHUTE. So he has said you should not use a PCR test to test for COVID-19. So if you feel sick, you go get tested with a PCR test. They come back and they say, I hate to tell you this,
positive,
but you're positive for COVID, and right now we're going to have to. You tested positive. We're going to have to separate you now from your family.
Right.
We got to go ahead and isolate you right now.
The COVID floor.
We got to take you to the COVID floor.
Yeah.
Step 5. They say, doctor, how bad is it? The patient says, doctor, how bad is it?
Well, the CDC protocol.
And the doctor says, well, Carl, I'm going to have to give you a remdesivir. Did you say remdesivir? No, I said remdesivir. What? Remdesivir. And as a patient, you're coughing. But is it remdesivir a drug patented by George Soros in China? The doctor says, yes, it was patented by George Soros in China. And yes, they've talked about depopulation, but you should take it. But I want hydroxychloroquine or budesonide or ivermectin.
And then because you can't breathe, then what do they give you?
But real quick, what causes you to die is remdesivir and midazolam. So if you go to timetofreeamerica.com and you just right here, if you click there on follow the money, the button says follow the money, you can find the Reuters article. It says China lab seeks patent on use of Gilead's coronavirus treatment. Okay, that's Reuters. Time magazine says a Chinese drug maker look it up, folks, a Chinese drug maker has started mass producing an experimental drug for COVID-19. The problem is, and I'm not criticizing a dead man at all. I'm just sharing the facts because I deal with this every day. Look at this. It is now 7:14 on a Monday. I could be in my pool. I could be so many things I could do. But you know what I'm doing? I have 655 more text messages to respond to.
Oh my goodness.
You know what 80% of them are? It's people who are saying, I had COVID-19. I took ivermectin and thank God I'm fine. Tell you the biggest split ever. A lady just started listening to our show. Aaron Antis, one of the guys who helps us with the event, spoke to her. And she said she's just started listening to her show after her husband went to the hospital with COVID-19. He's in the hospital. The hospital will not give him budesonide, ivermectin, hydroxychloroquine. The hospitals gave him midazolam and remdesivir. Now, please understand, midazolam suppresses your breath, and remdesivir is a drug that causes renal failure, patented by George Soros in China. So what kills you is the protocols.
Right.
So to the point of, did they kill him?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And everybody else who's died in a hospital while taking remdesivir. Remdesivir. Everyone needs to know this. It's REM, rapid eye movement. I'm just telling you how it works, okay? Rapid eye movement is when you're sleeping, so you go to sleep, and then you have a death that is severe. That's what it is. So if you hear remdesivir, you need to hear REM, death severe. That's how I hear it. Because people they go to sleep and they never wake up. That's what happens every single time.
Shouldn't he have known? I mean, I even have hydroxy and ivermectin in my house.
And I'm not criticizing the guy. I'm just telling you what people need to understand. And this is why these Reawaken America tour events are so profoundly impacting people.
Mm-hmm.
Is there's medical fraud, election fraud, religious fraud.
Right.
Medical fraud, election fraud, religious fraud. Medical fraud, election fraud. So let's talk about medical fraud. This is as an example. James?
Yeah.
I'm just asking you this question, and you can please answer the questions honestly. Please don't play games with us. Don't double talk. Don't do anything the mainstream media would do, if that's okay.
Yeah. All right. Let's give it a shot.
Have you ever eaten this year Doritos?
Yes.
You
In fact, I had some in Grand Rapids.
Have you?
Yeah.
Have you ever had Frito products?
I have had them.
You have?
Yeah.
Okay. You ever had Gatorade?
I don't like it.
Folks, look it up right now. Go to DuckDuckGo and type in Senomyx. 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 DuckDuckGo, folks, look it up. Senomyx. 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 Everything has Senomyx. Senomyx. It's in the mix. Senomyx. It's Senomyx. Senomyx. What in the world is in Senomyx? It's fetal tissues, aborted baby fetal tissues in your food.
Yeah.
Let it sink in for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
Let me read the items that have Senomyx. Senomyx? What are you saying? What's that word? Senomyx. Let's just, James,
Okay.
you list off a food that has Senomyx in it, and I'll one up you. You go first.
Starbucks,
PepsiCo,
Kraft,
Campbell Foods,
Coca-Cola,
Quaker,
Tropicana,
Gatorade,
Nestle,
Lipton,
Baby Ruth,
Bit O' Honey,
Butterfinger,
California Pizza Kitchen,
Coffee Mate,
DiGiorno,
Goobers,
Gobstoppers,
Haagen-Dazs ice cream,
Hot Pockets,
Hot Pockets.
Laffy Taffy,
I was just okay. Lean Cuisine,
Maggie's Seasonings,
Libby's Pumpkin,
Nerds,
Nescafe,
Pixie Sticks,
Raisinets,
Runts.
Snow Caps,
It's free.
Sweet Tarts,
Taster's Choice,
Stofers,
The Skinny Cow,
Tombstone,
Toll House,
Wonka.
100 grand
Wow.
in your face. I win. I know, but it's crazy.
It's crazy.
It's
Yeah.
crazy. I think you actually won, by the way.
And those are just candies. There's a bunch of other ones, right?
Oh, you want to go get into other food? You want to talk about? I mean, it's just Captain Crunch cereal.
Oh, wow. Quaker. Did we talk about that? Aunt Jemima mixes and syrups.
Yeah.
I just did a twofer.
Yeah,
Rice Roni.
puffed wheat,
Wow. Harvest Crunch cereal.
Captain Crunch.
King Vitamin cereal. Whoa.
You're sick.
Mm.
Quaker rice cakes.
Puffed wheat. Did we say that?
I'm just saying you're being negative. People want to pick me up. Show
Dryers.
Gerber baby food,
Oh, Gerber's graduates.
For baby food, baby feeding babies to babies.
Jello
Oh.
gelatin,
Pasta Buitoni.
Milo,
Toblerone.
Tang,
Toblerone.
Tang,
Toblerone.
Power Bar, performance bars,
Jenny Craig.
Jenny Craig.
We could do this all day.
We could SpaghettiOs,
Swanson.
A1 steak sauce,
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
Cadbury cream egg.
Capri Sun,
Cheese Whiz.
Chips Ahoy,
Cool Whip.
Cracker Barrel,
Crystal Light.
Dentine,
Halls. Those are the
Miracle
I guess
Whip.
The cough
Miracle
drops.
Whip. Take that.
You're going to Oscar Mayer.
Philadelphia.
Planners.
Okay, so this is what call to action.
I won that one.
Call to action. I want to help your listeners today in three
Yeah.
profound ways, if I can. This is what I want to do.
Mhm.
Is I want to protect everyone's wealth, their health, and their food supply. Can we do that?
Yeah.
Okay. So the health aspect. I don't have any fear at all. People say, Clay, why don't you have any fear? Why are you never wearing a mask? Why do you? Just so you know, if anybody comes to the Reawaken America tour, I get there every day at 6 a.m. and I shake hands with every single person that wants to shake a hand.
Mm-hmm.
You've seen me do it.
Yeah.
5,000 hands, 4,000. I'm like a case
And
study.
then at the end, he signs books.
Yeah. And people say, aren't you worried about COVID? No, I'll tell you why. I work with Dr. Sherwood and Dr. Meehan, 2 websites. Everyone write that down. Okay. Sherwood.tv, Sherwood.tv, and Meehan, MEEHANMD, MEEHANMD.com, Meehan, MD.com. These 2 doctors, Dr. Jim Meehan and Dr. Sherwood, have combined to treat, now this is crazy, over 10,000 COVID-19 patients with 0 deaths.
A lot.
And people who come in there, they say, I'm not feeling good. They go, okay, well, we're not going to take a COVID test. So we don't want to put graphene oxide in your body, which is on the test. What we're going to do is we're just going to treat you like you have pneumonia or the flu or whatever it is. We take it seriously. We're not going to freak out. We're going to get you on hydroxychloroquine to get you going. And if that doesn't nip it, just doesn't deal with it, we're going to go ivermectin. And if you still got, we'll go on to budesonide, all FDA approved drugs, and no one dies. So there, I'm giving you solutions. And if those 2 doctors are all booked up, go to timetofreeamerica.com, time2freeamerica.com. You can find other doctors there at timetofreeamerica.com. 2, your wealth. Andrew Sortini and I had a very funny conversation the other day. He's just blowing me up, and I'm in the bathroom, I'm washing my hands, and I'm just, my phone just vibrating in that pocket. We had kind of a funny conversation because he's going, Clay, who have you given my cell phone number to? I said, I think a few million people. And he's like, well, that's good. And he makes a commission, but this is real. As government prints money they don't have to buy things they don't need, your dollars are the value of your dollars. They don't need to ever take the money out of your account. Listen to this, folks. The government would never just need to seize the money in your account. They just need to make it worth 0.
Right.
How do they do that? They print money they don't have to buy things they don't need. That's called inflation. All right. And when they do that, it devalues your dollar. So I highly recommend you write down the following phone number and text this guy. And I mean this. This is what I do. You don't have to do what I do. I just think you should do it. Text 310-433-3524. It's 310-433-3524. Someone says, my pen doesn't work. Calm down. Okay. 310-433-3524. Somebody said, I'm driving my car. I'm trying to pull over. Calm down. Okay. 310-433-3524. Okay. That's the number. That's Andrew Sortini. He's with bh-pm.com. And I highly recommend that you restore your value, restore your wealth, get a hold of that guy, and just send him a text. Send him a text. Say, hey, I want to talk to you, and he'll help you. I mean, I know of one woman, I spoke to her. She moved the vast majority of her retirement out this year. It was in stocks and bonds into the gold and silver with Sortini.
Wow.
And the value of the portfolio has gone up a lot in the last 18 months. A lot.
Right.
Just to give you some historical content or context, an ounce of gold in 1971, 9 years before I was born, in 1971, it was $44 an ounce. In 1999, when I graduated high school, it was now $278 an ounce. When I started buying gold, it was like $250 to $300 an ounce. And now, 2021, the price of gold today, the spot price today is getting up near $1,900. It's $1,866.98. So you can protect your wealth, Dr. Sherwood, protect your health. That's bh-pm.com, and the phone number is 310-433-3524, 310-433-3524. And then the final call to action is food. This is super serious.
Yeah.
I know a lot of people when the Tulsa, we had the crazy ice storm that hit Dallas, and it also came through
We
Tulsa.
lost power in the office.
Yeah. And people were like, oh, what are we going to do? And I said, hey, listen, if you need to come over to my house, you can. I've got enough firewood to burn for years. Come on over. And they're like, okay, you come over. It's all toasty. Chestnuts are roasting on an open fire. Jack Frost. And people were, no, seriously, it was kind of a time of peace. at the house. There wasn't all the technology on. And we just had a great time with the family, the kids, no stress. Also, from a food perspective, we were good. And so I want to give people at the conference, I was telling James this, my wife, she's had 5 kids and she looks great. And everyone's like, man, your wife looks great. But the problem is, James, you see it, the conferences, they come up to me, they'll be yelling, they'll go, oh, hey, Clay, can I meet you and your wife? I go, yeah. And they're like way over here. Can I meet you guys? I said, sure. They get kind of close. They go, what do you guys eat? I go, you guys look great. And I'm going, well, let me tell you what I, and they go, no, not you. You don't look great. She looks great. What does she eat? So I'm telling people, this is my wife and Ann Vandersteel, very popular personality, stilltruth.com, investigative journalist. They teamed up and did this thing. And I'm telling you, it's like $3 a meal. It's organic. It's farm to table. There's no Senomyx in it. And it's Thrive Time Superfoods is the website they set up. Because so many, I'm not exaggerating. Thousands of people have asked now. And then my wife just spoke in Michigan. She helped lead the healing service. And now it's out of control. People are like, oh, what is she eating? What is the deal? My wife will never eat anything that isn't grown naturally, period. That's her rule. She's like, if it can't grow, I'm not going to eat it. I'm going, why? She goes, so the other day, I'm getting on the phone with Lynn Wood. I'm getting prepared for the show. I'm doing a deep dive. And I'm like, Vanessa, did you know that Senomyx is in all the food, the sin in the mix? It's aborted fetal tissue. She goes, not surprised.
Yeah.
I'm like, how are you not surprised? She's like, they're putting aspartame in foods. Cancer-causing carcinogens are in foods. Well, why would you not be surprised? And I'm going, it's a little heavy when you realize that you've eaten these foods with baby parts in
for
them.
decades.
Yeah, for decades. It's disgusting.
So I want to first off repent for not having the discernment to eat. But once you read the book of Matthew 7 times, 8 times, which I've been doing, and Matthew, the book of Matthew, God instructs us. God says, you're either for me or against me.
Right.
For me or against me. Now that's pretty harsh when you think about everything in this world. Every song you listen to is pro-Christ or anti-Christ. Every comedy album is pro-Christ or anti-Christ. Every food is pro-Christ or anti-Christ.
Right.
Matthew chapter 12:30 it says, he that is not with me is against me, and he that gathereth not with me scattereth abroad. And I have just been convicted to really dive in and figure this out. And I just encourage everybody, action items. If you go to Sherwood.tv, that's a doctor, you won't die. Phenomenal. If you go to ThriveTimeSuperfoods.com, it's $3 a meal. And if you buy it from this or any other, I can only endorse this because my wife lives off this stuff. But I encourage everybody to get yourself at least a 1-year supply. And you might say, you're crazy. No, I'm being serious. Because if the power goes off, and by the way, the Chinese were in our electrical grid through a hack this year. That happened.
Yeah.
All they need to do is go, it's off. Or maybe, or maybe I picture like a shoo, do. And we get kind of quiet. You look around, and all of a sudden you start to hear, and you're like, what's that sound? Because you can't hear anything else. And any of the nuclear facilities that have to be, they couldn't do it. The dams that deliver the water power, to many cities, LA, Las Vegas, then you couldn't pump the water. Then you couldn't get any food.
Sewage also gets messy.
And all of a sudden, so this is where you want to buy now. So whether you buy from here, I don't make any money at all if you buy from mypatriotsupply.com. They're great people. I have a lot of that. This is what my wife lives on. I mean, it's just like, this is just what she does. It's USDA organic, all farm to table. That's what you do. So again, go to Sherwood.tv. You can go to ThriveTimeSuperfoods.com. And then if you do have COVID-19 and you're worried about that, please go to timetofreeamerica.com, and I can connect you to doctors in all 50 states. We'll help you get the treatments that you need. Go to timetofreeamerica.com.
I'll put this all underneath when we put it up.
You're the best.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, you know what I'm noticing right now to I know we only have a little bit more time.
Sure, yeah, no problem.
We're in a pressing right now. I had texted what I felt to Juan. We're in a pressing right now, and what's really inside a person is really coming out. And, I think we're going to see a splitting of not only the body of Christ, but of the patriots. And some are patriots and some are actual patriots. And, it's amazing to me. And I was in the book of Matthew, chapter 7, verse 21 through 23. And Jesus says, not everyone who, says they're of me is going to go to heaven. And there's many who will say they're doing all these things in my name. And I'll say, get away from me, workers of iniquity. And the Lord said to me, how are you going to know them from you? And I really had to meditate on it. And you know what he showed me? The ones who seek the Father and do his will. It's not about money. It's not about fame. It's not about numbers. How many people can I get following me or whatever? Those are the ones, the one who do the will of Father. Great discernment in this time. Every fruit can be tested to be good fruit. And everything lines up with the word of God. And there's so much craziness coming out in this world right now that's against that. And now, crazy teachings and all kinds of stuff. So I just, love what you're doing to bring truth.
Can we talk about this for a second? What you just said is powerful, and I want to make sure we get this.
Okay.
How do you perceive Matthew chapter 5, verse 10, where it says, blessed are ye who are persecuted for his righteousness' sake.
Mhm.
Blessed are they when men shall revile you for my
Mhm.
name's sake. How do you, because to me, what that means is you're blessed when you're persecuted for his name's sake.
Mhm.
As I'm seeing patriots go, I don't want to talk about that because I might lose my platform. As I see that, that's to me where I see who's real or not.
Exactly.
That you were talking about.
That's what I see.
Patriot.
That's how, when I see someone who says, I'm not going to talk about what's in the COVID-19 vaccines because I don't want to lose my YouTube account. That to me is when I see it come up.
Right.
How do you process? What does Matthew 5:10 versus
Yeah.
Matthew 5:10 through 11 mean to you?
Well, to me, it means exactly what he's saying there. If you're a truth teller, you're going to get persecuted. I've had other people's shows get canceled because they had me on talking about Christ and the truth and the word of God. And we need to be out here telling people the truth about COVID, about the fact that they've never isolated it. So there is no variant, it's ridiculous what people are accepting as truth. And I said to someone the other day, the only truth out there, the true truth is Jesus Christ, period. Because everything else is so crazy. So if you're worried about numbers, I don't care about that stuff because, I've told the Lord, I really don't want to do this, blah, blah, blah. And I've had the next day somebody write and say, because of something you said, I didn't kill myself today. And it's happened more than once. So we're out here for a specific reason. And it's not about the PAY and it's not about, covering the truth because we don't want to get a ding, or a strike or whatever. And, so it makes me upset. Get used to it. Jesus said they hated him. They're going to hate us too. So all I know is that I have to speak truth. And if it means, that puts a target on you, it puts a target on you. Being a patriot, if that means it puts a target on you, because you know what, when I joined the Marines at 18 years old, I had said I would die for my country to protect the people. And as a Christian since I was 11 years old, and I'm 59 now, I would do the same thing. I would die for Christ and for his people. So, how far are you in? How far are you in? Are you in to where you want to tell all truth and whatever happens, happens?
Oh, now, and I'm just telling you, I had just come to grips with that. Is
Yeah.
like, if you read Matthew chapter 24, everything that can be shaken shall be shaken. And again, I as we close, if it's okay before you have to go, before we have to go, with just so many interviews, and I appreciate you squeezing me in today. I really do appreciate that
you
happening.
being here.
I just want to read this to people that not. James, have you read that? If you had to say in your lifetime, you're an attorney.
Yeah.
In your lifetime,
Mhm.
have you read the Bible more this year than other years?
Oh yeah, and it's become increasingly more. Now I'm listening to it as well.
So we're gonna do like a Run DMC reads the Bible. Okay.
Every other word.
No, so you're gonna read Matthew chapter 24. You're gonna read the first little, verse.
Okay.
I'll read the second, third, fourth.
You don't do every other word.
No, but listen. No, when you read it though, you are gonna try to outdo me.
Can you read it in the Mickey Mouse British voice?
No, I can't do that.
Okay.
Okay, I'm not gonna do that.
And Jesus went out and departed from the temple, and his disciples came to him for to shew him the buildings of the temple.
And Jesus said unto them, see ye not all these things? Verily I say unto you, there shall not be here one stone upon another that shall not be thrown down.
And as he sat upon the Mount of Olives, the disciples came unto him privately, saying, tell us, when shall these things be? And what shall be the sign of thy coming and of the end of the world?
And Jesus answered and said unto them, take heed that no man may deceive you.
For many shall come in my name, saying, I am Christ, and shall deceive many.
And ye shall hear of wars and rumors of wars. See that ye not be troubled. I should write that down. For all these things must come to pass, but the end is not yet.
For nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And there shall be famines and pestilences and earthquakes in diverse places.
And all these are the beginnings of sorrows.
Then shall they deliver, then shall deliver you up to be afflicted, and shall kill you, and ye shall be hated of all nations for my name's sake.
And then shall many be offended, and shall betray one another, and shall hate one another.
And many false prophets shall arise, and shall deceive many.
And because iniquity shall abound, the love of many shall wax cold.
But he that shall endure unto the end, the same shall be saved.
And this gospel of the kingdom shall be preached in all of the world for a witness unto all nations, and then shall the end come.
When ye therefore shall see the abomination of desolation spoken of by Daniel the prophet stand in the holy place, whoso readeth, let him understand.
And then let them which is in Judea flee into the mountains. That's like the cities. Let them which is in Judea flee into the mountains.
Let him which is on the housetop, let him which is on the housetop not come down to take anything out of his house.
Neither let him which is in the field return back to take his clothes.
And woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days.
But pray ye that your flight be not in the winter, neither on the Sabbath day.
For then shall be great tribulation, such as was not since the beginning of the world to this time, no, nor ever shall be.
Now let's think about that. I believe that's where we're at. I encourage everybody to get out Daniel and talk about it. Because I've been reading through some Daniel right now. And one of the things that Daniel prophesied was the fourth kingdom, right? Where they start mixing the miry clay, that's like humanity, with the iron, mixing man with machine.
Right.
And the vision is too much God gives him. It makes him nauseated, it makes him sick, makes him weak. He's like, oh, it's too much. Oh, it's too much. And one of the things he saw was that they actually stopped the sacrifice for a period of time. Some say a couple of weeks. People stopped going to church. They stopped meeting face to face. And they stopped. Then in Daniel, it talks about how many days from that point you'll see some things. So I encourage everybody to read the book of Daniel tonight. Listen to the audiobook. The audiobook's 1 hour. If you listen to the King James Version, you can listen to it on YouTube still right now. And you listen to it, I think you'll have some epiphanies going on, because right now, it's all happening. It's all happening right now. And I would just say, as a call to action, if you want to know the truth, medical fraud, election fraud, religious fraud, get to timetofreeamerica.com, timetofreeamerica.com. I'm looking at these numbers right now. We have under 12 tickets left for Colorado Springs. I think maybe 11, 10. I don't have any idea how many are left for San Antonio. And I don't know the number for, I know for San Antonio, it's under 300 tickets are left. I don't know how many tickets are left for Dallas, and you can name your price. So no matter where you're at financially, you can name your price. And all you have to do to name your price is go to timetofreeamerica.com, timetofreeamerica.com, and request your tickets. And we'd love to see you at General Flynn's Reawaken America tour. Jim Caviezel, Sidney Powell, Robert Kennedy Jr. Learn all that information right there. Learn who's going to be speaking. Dr. Tenpenny, Dr. Judy Mikovits. They're all right there at timetofreeamerica.com. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I have one quick scripture. And they overcame by the blood of the Lamb and the word of their testimony, and they loved not their lives unto death. Revelation 12:11. That's how we overcome. That's how we overcome. We can overcome. So we don't want anybody in distraught. And
it says there, it says, you're not troubled.
Yeah.
Be not troubled. I'm like,
be not troubled. That's right.
Line that over and over.
Yeah.
Hey, well, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you. And God bless you. And I will see you in September and then October. And I will be there. So
thank you so much. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Take care, Jodi.
God bless. Nice to meet you both again.
Bye-bye.
Take care, brother.